Minecraft is a beautiful game, but look at the history or the community at all, and you see a very different story. But I love this game, so I'm going to talk about it. If you want to listen, then stay tuned for the drama. If you want to skip to any important part in the video, you can do so via the chapters, which will be labeled per year. Today I'm going to be talking about the recent situation between Mojang, the makers of Minecraft, and the community. This all began just over 6 years ago when Minecraft created a revolutionary idea known as the mob vote. The idea that sparked the creation of the mob vote is to introduce unique mobs in fun ways. The mob vote also gives the community a way of affecting the decision of Mojang. However, as you find out, this isn't the great thing you might think. I wish to influence the decision of Mojang and terminate the construct that is the mob vote. I want to start at the very beginning. Back in 2017, the mob vote was done for the first time, but by this point, controversy had already started. This truly wasn't a massive problem, however, it is important. This problem was caused by a popular Minecraft YouTuber known as Mumbo Jumbo, who was putting out tweets asking for people to vote specifically for the Phantom. As he is a quite popular YouTuber, his fans were swayed to vote for the Phantom instead of choosing to vote for the mob they actually wanted. And as you will see in the future, this becomes a massive problem. The mob/biome votes that took place in 2018 and 2019 were relatively calm, but the start of the YouTuber problem was becoming very big in 2020 with the rise of the now infamous YouTuber known as Dream. Dream announced publicly on his Twitter that he would be voting for the Glow Squid, and as his audience is primarily children who seek to mimic him, within minutes the Glow Squid gained thousands of votes due to the fact that he has a large amount of influence. It beat out the real votes for the mob that would have won by roughly 2%. This wasn't the end though, as the way the Minecraft mob vote worked was put out in 2 polls. The first one decides the 2 of the 3 mobs that would be in the final poll, and then it was what mob you would like to join the game out of the 2 finalists. At this point, it was between a mob that people actually wanted and a mob that was voted into the finale because of content creator. But we still aren't even talking about what this essay is even about yet. Alright, so let's recap. At this point, we only have, YouTuber drama. Not much has happened in terms of the community themselves. It's mainly just, large-scale content creators. In the 2021 mob vote, the Allay was the most functional mob, so it winning wasn't super controversial, but we are getting closer to the problem. By this point, people are getting fed up with the black and white decision that is the mob vote. As no matter what mob wins, a part of the community will end up frustrated. In a Reddit post from the 13th of October, 2021 on r/Minecraft suggestions, a user known as Vengeful Raptor states that the mob vote should work like the biome vote, in which instead of trashing great mob concepts, they save the update for later, which is how biome votes work. And on top of you being able to vote for a biome, it often comes with the guarantee of new mobs to add atmosphere. Yet another benefit of doing a biome vote is that due to the guarantee of all options, the game gains far more content than just one mob. There's been only one real exception to this eliminatory nature of the mob vote. It was the frog, the concept being introduced in the same vote that had the Allay win. Nobody thought it would get into the game, however they ended up adding it into the game anyway, along as being the mob for the biome added in this update known as the Mangrove Swamp. One more upside to the biome vote is the fact that if content creators tell their fans to vote for one biome, it doesn't affect the game long term, as the other biomes will just get in later instead of right away. But I've spent enough time on how the biome vote is better. Let's move on to 2022. By this point, it's clear that a mob vote each year isn't the best way to include the community. Well, it's clear to everybody except for Mojang. Here's where the problem lies, this year in particular. The mobs seem to have little to no effort put into them this year, as by this point they have tried to put a golem into the game twice when it's clear the functionality of the concept is just that, a concept, of an idea that could be great if they actually put in effort. However, only one mob added a fun mechanic into the game. This mob is now known as the Sniffer, but despite being the only one remotely related to the content in the 1.20 update, it still wasn't what fans were hoping for. Sure, it was the best mob to vote for, but it shouldn't have been. There should have been variety. The players wanted more than just a mob showing where darkness is, which is already accessible by opening the F3 details. Then we come to what I actually am trying to get to, 2023, when all breaks loose. You see, the last year Mojang actually took notes and decided to make 3 fantastic concept mobs. And you might think that's good, but as soon as all 3 mobs were revealed, it backfired. You see, as I mentioned before, only 1 mob in the mob vote makes it into the game, aside from 1 exception so far, kind of. I'll cover that at the end. Now, see, the mob vote was between 3 stellar options: the crab, the penguin, and last but by no means least, the armadillo. Because of all the mobs would promise to bring wanted features, there became a movement known as #Stop the Mob Vote. This trend spread like literal wildfire as a petition on change.org managed to gain over 500,000 votes. But why, you ask? This was because of the way the mob vote works. Only 1 mob would make it in, and people were getting fed up with the lobbying of creators in the past. This next part was taken from the creator Jet Starfish. If you want to check them out, the link will be in the description. For this analogy, we are using the political compass. Let's start with the anti-mob vote liberals. They think that because the people known as modders, they create modifications to the game, can all add all of the mobs that so can Mojang. They think the devs at Mojang are just lazy. Next, there's the anti-mob vote conservatives, who want to get rid of the mob vote, but they don't think adding all 3 mobs is the solution. Next, there's the pro-mob vote liberals, who think the mob vote should stay, but the choice should be better and there should be far more communication than there currently is surrounding features. Last on the list, there's the pro-mob vote conservatives. This makes up many modders and Mojang devs who think the anti-mob vote liberals are being greedy rather than Mojang being lazy. This being where the anti-revolution movement is centered, makes them the unfortunate target of the more radical side who think all mobs should be added. Their solution was creating literal World War II era propaganda posters about how the vote should be canceled in its entirety, and as I have stated, they wanted all the mobs to be added. Personally, I fall in between the pro-mob vote liberals and the pro-mob vote conservatives, as I would like more communication and better choices, but I also strongly believe that Mojang is by no means a lazy company, as they have to make every feature on 2 separate coding platforms, C++ and Java, and you can't just copy and paste the code between platforms, as it most likely doesn't work the same on both platforms. But there's still more to unpack. Putting aside this fiasco for the time being, there's something even more ludicrous than everything I've covered so far. In the depths of this situation, there's evidence of voter fraud. Mojang changed the system in which you vote this year. There were 3 ways of voting. Number 1, you could go to the Minecraft.net website and sign in to vote. Next, there was the Mob Vote World on Bedrock Edition, in which you could also vote on. But we were talking about the final method. You could vote through the Minecraft game launcher, and people found an exploit in the code of the launcher which allowed them to vote multiple times. After deliberation, they decided that they would use this exploit to spam votes for the armadillo. This explains why the armadillo won the vote despite showing no signs of being the most popular. As a little tradition, YouTubers often put out polls on YouTube or on Twitter to judge what mob is suspected to win. I combed through all the polls on Twitter and YouTube that I could find, and all the signs pointed to the crab winning. Here's what I personally think is the best course of action for Mojang to take at this point. Due to all the problems that have happened in the past, I don't think it should be fully canceled. However, I think Mojang needs to take a hard look at everything in the past and make some very serious decisions about how the mob vote will change in the future. And I believe that without any change, Mojang will become far too distant from the community. And I believe if nothing is changed, Minecraft will slowly die. So I believe that Mojang should adopt the idea of asking the community about what should be changed. However, not everybody is the same thinking. I think the community is a fundamental part of Minecraft. But because the community is so divided, for the time being, Mojang should revert to the biome vote concept. Now that the biome vote doesn't have to be its exact name in this case, I believe that only the core concept should replace the mob vote system. Mojang, at the end of the day, the community is who you are making the game for. And if not, who else? You can't keep making a game for no one. I think that because you created the most popular game ever, you're getting too big for your britches, and if you keep distancing yourselves from the people who breathe life into this game, it's not going to end well for you. Alright, here's the part in the history where I said kind of. Almost exactly 24 hours ago at the time of writing, there was a change in Minecraft. Mojang added the commands for extra reach and the command for boat speed. Extra reach was the crab feature, and penguins were going to modify boat speed. In the latest, so yes, they added the command for extra reach and the command for boat speed in the latest snapshot, which means most likely that these two mobs will be added into the game. Take this with a grain of salt, as it's not guaranteed. They could just be adding the features of these mobs. But this means they listen and cave to the demands of the anti-mob vote liberals. This means that Mojang did listen to the community, and we are grateful, but the mob vote still needs massive change. Mojang, for the last time, I implore you to change the system. That is the Minecraft mob vote. I've never made a video that's had a script before, so this is new to me, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please tell me. I want to make more stuff like this in the future, but I want to know if it should be worth my time. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you like the visuals. I hope you like the story. Have a good one. See you in the next video. Oh yeah, and if you're in school, have a good Christmas break, guys.